of the style shoot that we set up today. So I know you guys saw all the, the back end of how a style shoot works, on the, the behind the scenes of how a style shoot works. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what is a style shoot and the importance of having one or doing one and putting one together, and the collaboration that's involved with putting together a style shoot. Very, very important. So today we have with us Jean, who is a style shoot pro. Jean, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for collaborating.
This has been an amazing experience, and I'm like really glad that we're here today. It's been so much fun.
I know, it's been fun.
Well, style shoots primarily is inspiration. It's wedding inspo for brides. Some brides have no idea what they want to do for their wedding, and they just need that visual piece to say, I love that, and they want to use that as inspiration on deciding how they want their color scheme, what dresses they want to have, what flowers they want to have, what invitations. I think creativity is such a thing that we all want to tap into, and it can get overwhelming when there's so many different ideas, and everyone loves Pinterest, so that's like usually the first go-to. So a style shoot primarily is just to give that inspiration, whether it's via Pinterest, a wedding blog, just to get it into the hands or eyes of a bride. For a style shoot, the fun thing is, I just think of an idea. What do I want to see? Is there a certain trend that, maybe brides want to look at? I just go with my gut, and, I decide whether it be a color scheme, or it could be a fabric, it could be a season, it could be anything from Gatsby to autumn fall colors. We did here in the Hamptons. I thought, let's do something fresh and fun, very summery, because the Hamptons is a place you go to during the summertime. So I did something that I wanted to speak a lot of who I am and what I like to do, and it's very lovely and bubbly and very colorful and happy, and it's very joyful. So that was pretty much the vibe I was going with for this one.
So when we got together, Jean was like, I really don't know what I want to start doing. Like, she didn't know where she wanted to go with it. So she showed me as a designer, collaborating with the style shoot. We sat together, we had a little meeting, and she was like, I really don't know which direction to go in with it. But her thing was that she really loved these particular colors, and so I said to her, from a design perspective, just the theme is the colors. So just right, so just go with the colors, and let's make these colors pop. And the time of year that we're in right now, it's perfect for this time of year. It's not neither summery or too fallish. It's just like perfect. And so even when you don't know like which direction you want to go in when you're starting your style shoot, sometimes it's as simple as just saying, let's just pick 2-3 things that I really, really love, and let's make it
build around that.
Right, build around that.
There are many different challenges that go with it. A lot of it is just your personal strive for perfection, and I think that happens with brides when it comes to their wedding too. A style shoot is just very much like planning a wedding, except it's not a real ceremony. It's not a real bride and groom, but a lot of the elements go into it, because you have to do a lot of the planning, you have to do a lot of the thinking and piecing that all together, and you have this one shot to get it right, and you have all those nerves. So it's trying to get all those pieces together, and in your head you think, is this going to work? Is this piece going to work with that piece? And you don't know it sometimes until you see it come together. And in other ways, sometimes these things just magically fall into place in ways that you didn't originally plan, and that's the same thing that's going to happen with wedding planning. So I think that was one of the challenges. When it comes to style shoot, the difference is you're not working with your family and your friends. You don't have your bridal party. So from behind the scenes perspective, it's getting the cast. We decide to have people to give it more life and movement, which I love to do, is because I feel like if you have a bride and groom model and you have a bridal party especially, it gives more authenticity to a fake shoot, because people want to see, how will I look in that? How will this look together? How will the dresses look with that table? So I like to have more of that life into it.
And I think that was one of our challenges, because when you're trying to build life into a setting and you're involving real people, you're casting for models, and these are things that that's going to be challenging, because if it's not a paid situation, you're going to run into models just not showing up. So sometimes overbooking models, we find, is a little bit helpful. So you can definitely use that strategy to when putting out a cast that you want to
There's
get
no
models.
such thing as overbooking
No.
models. Let's just say that.
Because sometimes they just don't show up.
Yes.
And that happened to us.
Yes, that did.
Plenty of
We
times.
had about 5 that were definitely booked, and we ended up having 2.
Yeah.
And I was, I think that was my biggest number one fear, was having 0 models. And it still was going to turn out great anyway, because if we didn't have the models, we would have had a gorgeous tablescape, and we would have had a lot of detailed photos. So it still would have turned out great. But just that's probably one of the challenges I've experienced so far, is booking and casting the models.
I always speak to you guys about building your network, because that is super duper important when putting things like this together, especially when you're first starting. These are key things. If you don't have anything, you've never done anything before, style shoots are a great way to start building your portfolio. You can use that as collateral to put on your website, to put on social media, to put on, in your blogs, and start really building, little ideas that you have, and building them together with other event professionals. So as far as collaborating, you need a photographer, you need a videographer if you want to do some video imagery, you need a makeup artist.
I would say number one obviously is photography, because if you don't have a photographer, you don't have the photos. You need to get a good photographer. And then number 2, I would say for me, it personally is the florist, because I like to have that design. I think floral, it gives such a great impact. You could do so much with just the flowers alone. From there, you build out with the videographer, the hair and makeup, if you decide to cast the models. And if you can get a great venue, like we are here today at Southampton Social Club, and they were...
Thank you, Southampton.
Thank you. And by the way, it's
amazing.
Gorgeous, oh my gosh.
Very gorgeous. I'll take you guys on a real quick tour. Hopefully we have enough lighting, because it's starting to get late now. Where you're going to have it, where you're going to be hosting it, and trying to, get a great place. If you're going to do something outdoor, if you're going to do something indoor, what look are you going for, and which venue is going to, be the right fit for that. We were going to say.
If you don't have a venue, you don't have to worry about that, because I've done shoots before, literally in New York City, in Manhattan. Manhattan is the perfect backdrop for a shoot. So we've had the models go around Bryant Park. We ran around the Midtown Manhattan. We had a yellow cab in the photo. Manhattan's a great spot. So anywhere that's just like a great backdrop, just use the city.
You can use your backyard if you're just starting out and you don't have a place to go to, and you just want to, just get something done real quick. If you have a backyard, or if you have a friend's, backyard to use, just anything that can, even if you clear your living room space and kind of set up a nice, a nice scenery. It's basically key components for a style shoot. You want a nice tablescape, even if you're setting up something really small, from 4 to 6 people, 6 to 8 people even.
You could do a great table for even just 4 to 6 people. Key is to keep it clean. Your back, if you're doing it at your home, clear out everything in the background. You do not want to have any clutter showing in the backdrop. You could have an amazing table, but if we see something of yours in the back, that's not going to be...
Completely throws it off the professionalism aspect of it. Definitely an interesting component to when you're creating your tablescapes. Invitation, if you're maybe adding like
invitations,
any stationery. It doesn't even have to be invitations. It could be menu cards. It could be anything creative with writing on it. Definitely adds to the pieces.
And you could use anything as a prop. Things that you find in a store that you find inspirational. That we had some coasters, like the Mr. and Mrs. coaster. We just had ribbon ones that we used for the models. We had the bridesmaids wave that around, so that was a lot of fun. So you just have to be creative with even what you have, because some of these things were things that I had in my apartment. I didn't have it for the shoot. I didn't buy it for the shoot. It's things that I love.
Right.
So I think it's because it's things that speak to you and what sparks joy. And everything in itself is some type of design, some type of decor. So it's how you put it all together.
And then keeping it qualitative, very, very important. We went over a couple of things today, as far as making sure your linen is nice and pressed, making sure your table, your place settings line up, making sure your seating arrangement lines up. So even if it's not a real event, you want to make sure that it represents something that's very qualitative. Use a qualitative photographer, a qualitative videographer that really knows what they're doing. Someone that pays attention to detail, because you don't want to have something in the background and they don't see it, like a garbage can or something, and they don't see it and they're taking photos of it, and then all of a sudden, like, you have this, like, it
ruins a shot.
It ruins the shot.
Photoshop can only do so much.
Right.
When you're collaborating with so many different vendors, it's important that, you know, after the style shoot, when the photographer has the photos, they're going to give it to all the vendors and the models, and we're going to share that, you know, for their portfolio, social media, marketing. Make sure that you give the credit to every vendor that collaborated.
Important. Thank you. That was very important. Yes, a lot of people don't do that.
Yes.
They don't give the credits to the proper people.
On social media especially, you know, I always make sure to tag every single vendor. You know, you want to make sure you tag and give the proper credit to everyone.
Very important, guys. Very, very important. So making sure that you do that is very important, because otherwise no one will want to work with you if you're not getting the credit. It's pretty much
it's an all-day event.
It's an all-day thing. Yeah, you're setting up as if it was an actual event. This setup was set up for 32 people, with 4 8-foot tables, and you know, 32 seating arrangements, place settings, and you know, the whole works.
And a ceremony space.
And a ceremony space, right? We used you know,
we had 20.
Yes,
we had 20 ceremony seated, and then we had the altar, which you beautifully decorated with the floral. Thank you so much. I love it. I just kept wanting to take the selfies over there the whole time.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Key thing is, you know, if you are booking models, make sure that you have a space for them, for the hair and makeup people to, you know, have their station set up. They need plenty of space to lay out all their makeup, to have the models seated, and make sure you keep your models fed and hydrated, especially if this is a non-paid gig.
Yes.
You want to keep them happy, and you want to keep them going and fueled for the day also.
Yeah, so provide lots of food.
A lot of yummies.
Yeah, no one can work on an empty stomach, so that's very important. Pick out something really nice to wear, and then take photos with your actual, you know, setup. So you want to make sure that you can use that as well. You know, fixing the flowers, fixing the tablescape,
walking in the middle of it,
yes.
Just being surrounded by it, being in your element. That's pretty much it. You put all, you know, your blood, sweat, and tears into this. You want to document it, you know. And I also recommend trying to dress according to the theme of what you went for. So we're in like the pink scheme here.
Yeah, definitely a good tip. A good tip.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh, and Jenny, tell a little bit about your business.
You can check me out on Instagram at Lovely and Bubbly. So I am a style shoot producer. I work with photographers and other vendors. So basically, if you want to throw a style shoot together, you just call me up, and I collaborate with a lot of people. And I, you know, not just collaborate with everyone, I connect other people. You know, and that's just great business and great building relationships also.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Us. Thank you, guys. I hope you guys seen all the great stuff about style shoots and what you can do with the style shoots, and I hope you've learned a lot. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have any questions, post them in the comment box below, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you.